Fay Lynn from Strands Knitting Studio in San Clemente, California. And today we're talking about socks. Finally, I'm going to get you on the socks. So the first big question is, why knit socks? I mean, you can buy socks for a pack of 10 for $10, and they're inexpensive. They fit well. You can find all different kinds of fibers, you know, wool ones, cotton ones, dry wicking ones. Why in the world would you knit socks? So, thought about this, come up with a couple ideas. And my first big idea on why I knit socks and why I love them so much is that it pushes your skill levels. So socks are this tiny little canvas. So sock is this is a basic sock. They all look basically the same, constructed very differently, but basically the same. And it's a tiny little canvas. So designers have really pushed the boundaries, because when you've got borders on your creativity, you have to push within the borders, and it makes you come up with stuff that you normally wouldn't come up with. So knitting socks, from just the construction of them alone, is a bunch of techniques, but then you get to the designs on them, the construction. There's so many ways to knit a sock now. You wouldn't believe how people have torn apart this shape and reconstructed it. And so you're always learning something new, but it's a very small canvas. It's quite affordable, and it just is never-ending learning, which I like. Which, you know, as a process knitter, which we talked about, the process of knitting socks for me is so much fun. And there's just so many things. There's so many socks I want to knit because they're just so cute, and they've got cute little things on them. The color work these days that are on a pair of socks, just think you can do this massive color work, and it doesn't have to be a big sweater. It can just be a little sock. And then again, the construction, learning how things are put together and learning different ways to accomplish the same thing. It's just, you go on a massive learning curve when you knit socks. And so if you're interested in pushing your knitting to a next level, this is a very, very good way to do it, and it's useful. It's not a swatch. It's not a whole blanket. You know, our blanket is very popular because each square is different, and you learn something new with each square. And this is sort of the same thing. It's a little more than a square, but still, you're learning something new all the time. So if you're a process knitter, you're gonna love these. If you're not, if you're a project knitter, man, you can wear these. These are totally useful. They're great gifts. And I love my socks. And people are like, well, they're wool. In the wintertime, these socks are just the best things in the world. So that's one reason, is to push your skill level, really push your technique levels in your knitting, and a very simple, easy way to do it instead of bigger projects. This is just a nice way to do it. Another reason to knit socks is that it's very portable. This is totally portable knitting. As I said last week in the travel knitting, socks are the most popular thing to take on travel because you've got one skein, possibly two, tiny little needles. It's all right here. It's all that big, and it's just so easy to carry it anywhere you want to go, and always have a pair there to knit on. As I said, I have a pair that lives in my husband's car that I always have something if I'm stuck and there's nothing to do, we're stuck somewhere, or he's gonna go do something and I gotta sit and wait time. If you've got kids and you're driving kids around, oh, perfect. Sock knitting, yeah, takes up the time so fast, is really great. So it's very, very portable. Also, they're very affordable. I mean, you're talking $20 to $40 for a project, which in knitting world is a very affordable project. And the types of yarns, there's so much creativity in the yarns these days for sock knitting, for the fingering weight yarn, and it's just so much fun. Like, this is one that we had, that yarn, did that all by itself. And then I've got this one, which is a multi, again, all by itself. Or of course you can this is actually worsted weight. So this is a boot sock, or like house sock, because it's really, really warm and loose. And the yarn did this all by itself. Isn't that cool? And then you can also do color work and lace work. So this has lace on it. And then of course the color work here, you have the toe and the cuff for two different colors. and we're gonna do baby socks. So now the reason to do the baby socks is because we get from here to here, because this is the big construction part of a sock, the heel flap and the heel turn and picking up the gusset. That's the part of the sock, the construction sock, that you need to do multiple times before your head totally wraps around it. So by doing a baby sock, we get pretty much through the whole sock, except for maybe the toe. The toe's easy compared to all this other stuff. And you get 2 done, like really fast, so you get through the construction really fast before you go on to maybe a short sock, because you can also do short socks like anklets, which again, you get to the heel stuff faster before and get through the construction faster. My personal feeling about people who are beginning knitting socks, you got in your head, you have to go and need to make at least 2 pair. And actually, I think you need to make like 4 pair plain vanilla. Vanilla means you're just knitting. There's no fancy patterning or anything. You're just knitting. You can contrast toes and heels. But other than that, you're just knitting with pretty yarn and getting it down. And you do several of the vanilla socks until you have it down in your head. And also you start tweaking how it fits your foot. That's the other thing with knitting your own socks, is eventually you get to where you have the perfect numbers. You know what you need to do to fit your foot perfectly. But it's a process. So this is a process. But it is a really, really fun process. And as I said, I have a box of socks at home, and I love my socks. I wear them all winter long, all the time, because I don't know, my feet get cold. I don't know why my feet get cold in the winter, but they do. And I wear them constantly. We're gonna make a little pair like this, solid. You're not gonna do stripes, you're gonna do just a solid color. And we're gonna make a pair like this so you can get through the whole construction really quickly. In class, we'll get past the heel in class, which is the big thing. And then hopefully we will do a few more sock classes over the next few months to get it to where you can improve. But making a pair of socks a month is really sort of a fun thing to do and to have around. And if you're doing plain socks, knitted socks, and just enjoying the yarn, then it's really easy knitting, except for little tiny parts. Other than that, you're just doing circles, which is easy. And call and sign up for the class. And I hope to see you in the studio real soon. Bye.